Tanse Wildkiller here, and we're back with Chapter 12 of When the World Fell, a RusCan fanfiction. This chapter is called Finally. So, let's begin. Matthew and Alfred stop at the gates of a large town. The guards are quiet and aim their guns at the two brothers. Matthew was anxious, but Alfred walked forward with ease and presents a card to the guard. The guard grabs it, studies it, and nods. He raises his hand and does a simple wave. The giant metal gates open up and let the two brothers in. Alfred nods at the guard and enters the giant doorway. Matthew gawks at the well-maintained buildings, still moldy and rotten actually, and stores. Alfred chuckles and leads Matthew to the town hall. It was at least 2 stories and has boarded up windows. Alfred knocks 3 times and an eye slides open. "Password?" asks the voice. "Recruit number 3, Alfred whispers. The eye slides closed and the door opens. Alfred rushes Matthew in and closes it shut, locking it up heavily. Matthew takes a deep breath and follows Alfred down the large hallway. "Right here," Alfred instructs Matthew. Matthew nods and he turns the corner to be greeted with a hug. Matthew, in shock, looks at his attacker. Only one person could smell like roses in a deserted wasteland. Matthew looks down and hugs Franz back. It wasn't bone crushing, but it wasn't weak either. He held onto his father figure for about a minute. Someone clears his throat, and Matthew looks behind him to see England. "Don't let him have all the greetings," he says as he lifts himself up with a cane. Matthew smiles widely and gives England a hug as well. England chuckles and hugs him back tightly. As soon as Matthew was done meeting his family again, he joined the group at the table. There was America, France, England, China, Belarus, Ukraine, Russia, Italy, Japan, Romano, and Spain. These were the people they managed to round up so far. America sits down beside Canada, along with France. The room is very quiet and awkward. "Who is he?" China asks. "Canada," someone replies. "Yeah, I know that. What I mean is, what is he going to do here?" England clears his throat. "Well, he's going to help lead, of course," England replies. "What's so special about him anyway? If we couldn't find out who did this, then what makes you think he can?" Romano spits. "Besides, just look at him," Belarus chimes in. "Not enough muscle to even lift a carriage," she smirks. "Okay, enough!" Alfred yells, which surprised everyone. Well, except for Belarus and Russia. They don't get scared easily. "Now that everyone is quiet and not insulting my brother," he looks at Romano and Belarus, "we can finally get on track." He sits down and crosses his arms. They all quiet down. England speaks first. "First, I'd like to discuss our members right now. We are still lacking members. There are only 12 of us. If we can find 5 more, we may have enough sources to help us find out who did this 500 years ago." He opens a file and puts it on the table. "These are my suspects my facility has gathered on who's most likely to start something like this." He passes a stack of papers around to everybody. Canada reads it carefully. The first 2 names are America and Russia. Obviously, those 2 would be on here. Next is China and North Korea, a few Islamic countries, and a few minor ones here and there. However, a little detail catches his eye. It says Germany and Prussia. England? Why does it have their names on the list? Aren't we trying to search for them?" Canada asks. England nods. "I think the reason they are missing is because before the bombs, their military was being stockpiled with more weapons. Everybody in the room murmurs and talks about it. However, when I sent a few scouts to their base, it looked as if it were breached. Somebody forced their way into their base and we found bodies. England looks around the room, and who knows? The very culprit could be in this very room. At any second they could jump out and kill everybody. He looks directly at France. France nods and walks out of the room. Matthew, you've always did things without violence. We need that right now. We need a leader who can find out who did this quietly and peacefully. We don't need another war on our hands. England looks at Canada. So will you do it? Will you lead us? Canada takes a gulp of air. Well, I'll try my best, he says. You will try it, or will you do it? England asked. Canada shakingly puts his hands on his lap. I'll do it, sir. His face turns a little hot. I will do my best, he assures. England nods. Very well. We'll meet again tomorrow in the morning. Someone will show you to your room. Meeting adjourned. Everybody gets up from their seat. Canada breathes out and calms down. It has been years since he last talked to anybody, so he tends to have anxiety. I want to go back and help with the wall and live a peaceful life, he thinks to himself. As he is about to leave, France enters the room with a metal tag. Here you go. Your good name will be decided tomorrow. Here's your number as well on the back, he tells Matthew. Matthew looks at the back and it's number 12. France hugs Matthew one more time and walks out of the room. Matthew smiles to himself and puts the tag in his pocket. Looks like I'm not retiring to my recent home so soon. Suddenly, a large hand grasps his shoulder. Matthew looks behind him to see Russia. Oh, hey, Russia. Did you need something? Russia smiles. I wanted you to find your room, so I offered to help, he tells him. Oh, okay. Lead the way then. He mumbles the last few words. Russia starts walking and Canada follows him closely, making sure he doesn't get lost. The encounter is very quiet and just a tiny bit awkward. They pass by a few rooms. So, how long were you in your base? Russia asks Canada. The whole 500 years. I just got out, actually, he tells him. Russia nods. I bet it was a very isolating experience, huh? He looks at Matthew. Matthew chuckles awkwardly. Yeah, but after around the 300th year, you get used to it, Matthew jokes. Russia doesn't laugh. Sounds terrible, he says quietly. Matthew nods. I felt very sick, though. But after a while, it went away, and it never bothered me. From how long radiation stays, I thought I would be sick a lot longer, he says quietly. That is because the radiation became a part of you. Not only did it adapt, but it became a part of your geography as well, he explains to Matthew. Oh. They finally reach his room. Well, here you are. I just need to look inside and make sure the windows are boarded up properly. Oh, okay. Matthew follows him inside and closes the door. So, what do we do now? Kill him? Kill him or scheme up something that'll make them bend to our will? Canada asks Russia. Maybe both. Russia turns to Canada and gives him a big hug. I missed you, Matvey. He hugs tightly. I missed you even more, Ivan. It's been so lonely without you. Dun, dun, dun! The end of the chapter. And as far as the book is updated, this is the basically last chapter until the author, aka Lady Pernicious, updates again. And what she has to say in her little author's note in the bottom is, haha, cliffhanger. Oh my god. Yes, cliffhanger. They They're finally together. Ooh. I can't wait. Like if you liked. Comment. What do you think's gonna happen next? And subscribe if you want to. I'll see you guys. Whenever she decides to update. See ya.